much for joining us today. This is your host, Iram Said, with the Global Telesummit series From Heartache to Joy. I have with me Joshua Bloom, who has been one of our favorite guest speakers. Joshua has, I don't even know how many times we've had him on the show. He is one of the most popular speakers that we have every time he comes back, and actually a few times his offers have been the most popular on our Telesummit ever. So it's just such a joy each time to have Joshua back, not only because I love talking to him and he's become a good friend, but also because his processes and his teachings are very, very powerful. The transformation that occurs is really miraculous and it's quite instantaneous, and you'll probably get to witness, not probably, you will get to witness that today on the call. As we will work with people one-on-one, you will see how quickly transformation is possible. It's one of my favorite things to witness, because when you work with Joshua, really, truly, you begin to believe that anything is possible. So that's going to be our call today. So get prepared, be excited, be in that mode where you are ready to receive anything. What if that change that you have been desiring for a very long time, no matter what area it's in, whether it's in relationships, health, finances, whatever it is in, what if that change were meant to happen today? Because remember, with Joshua, anything really is possible. So stay in that beautiful, beautiful space, and let's welcome Joshua to the show. Thank you so much for joining us, Joshua.
Hi, Aram. It's always a wonderful thing to be here, because I know when we get together, magic happens, and that always excites me, and we get to help people, which excites me even more.
Yeah, that's just so awesome. And before we actually dive into the show, I wanted to share a little something with our listeners so that maybe I can use some of that magic today, Joshua, in my life, as I was telling you earlier. That, of course, Texas is experiencing floods that we have never seen before. I am in Dallas, Texas, and right in the middle of all that happening, and I live by the lake. And on my Facebook page, I've posted a video yesterday, which has gotten a lot of people concerned that, wow, this is just crazy. I used to have about an acre of land between my house and the lake, which is now reduced to only about 20 feet. So the water is rising, and we might have to evacuate. So I will request everybody to send prayers and blessings to Texas and help with these floods. I think we are done. We were in a drought for a few years, and I think we're done with that. We would like the faucet to be turned off now, because it's just too much water. So that just wanted to request some prayers and blessings and some healing light for Texas. And then if you have any words on that, Joshua, that would be great.
Well, I find it interesting how the world, the universe, and our systems that we have, our weather systems, tend to work in alignment with everything within it. So, I look at when we sneeze, for example, or when we cough or cry or have any kind of energy movement, that energy movement in our body is a healing process. And I feel the same thing with our weather, that the weather in itself is also a healing process, and it has responses to what's happening in our world. But here's the great news, that all responses can be changed. Like you said, you wanted the faucet to turn off. Well, yes, with intention, with beingness, with openness, with possibility, it all can happen. So I love that you asked for prayers. I also feel that just simply holding the intention for the energy that's causing the rain to just simply move. And when it moves, it transforms and becomes something else.
Wouldn't that be great, Joshua? Wouldn't that be great if today's call actually was the detrimental thing that changed the floodings in Texas? Wouldn't that be just awesome? And of course it's possible. We can totally do this. And we can help Texas and we will be the people that know actually what happened. Others will be talking about, I don't know what happened. The rains were predicted for the whole week, and suddenly they just kind of stopped. And that would be just so awesome. And I love what you said, because once I posted that video, everybody was emailing me and texting me and messaging me like, oh, this is so scary, you shouldn't spend another night there, and this can happen and that. And I'm definitely not against being cautious. You should always, be sensible and take precaution and stuff. But just like what you said, every time I dropped in, it was like, it's okay, and I would just say, is it okay for me to spend the night? Like, yes, it's okay. And so it was perfectly fine. At any given moment, we have that choice to really be okay and calm, or give in to that chaos of, oh, this can happen and that can happen, and then let our brain start projecting all kinds of crazy scenarios. So thank you for that beautiful reminder. Now, I want to talk about the amazing experiences that people have had with you, Joshua, with your teaching. And I know it is not, what you teach is not techniques. You actually don't like techniques. What you do is transformation without techniques, right?
Absolutely. There are different levels of energy. If we look at it from that perspective, energy flows at different levels. You might even call those levels frequency. So every energy has a different frequency. So if your frequency is at a low frequency, you'll have a different experience from if it was a high frequency. So if frequency and levels are different, then we can look at the levels in which strategy happens at, or technique, or whatever you want to call it, all the same thing. So when we have a technique, it works at a very low level of energy, which means that the potential for change is going to be very low as well, because you have to be at a higher level of frequency for the energy to be large enough, to be at a frequency that's big enough for the energy to move and transform at a useful level. And strategy just isn't that useful. If you think about strategies, I tend to think about managing. So whenever you're managing a problem, you're using a strategy, because strategies require management. And so I find that that's not what transformation is all about. It's really about working at the higher levels. Like, if you could make a new choice, that would be a much higher level than a strategy. If you can choose to become somebody that no longer requires the problem by shifting your identity, then that's even a higher level of beingness and energy to change. You could even move to the level of spirituality or purpose. When you're at the level of purpose, you can make an even larger change. And you can even be at the level of possibility and look at the many possibilities that are available to you. And it doesn't have to be the one you're stuck with, because you don't have to be stuck with it. You can have a different possibility altogether and create something new. And we know that quantum energy transformation is the science of possibility. So that if you get into the quantum field, so to speak, you can then change from the possibility you're in that may not be serving you and move it to another possibility that may be a better choice.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love that. And that's basically how we are able to remove a lot of blocks, that weird stuckness that a lot of people feel. Actually, I want to share what happened when I joined your program. One of the it was a deeper level of teaching that I joined with you, and I've shared this story before. And we all understand, and our audience, of course, understands that everything is energy. And really, the quality of your life depends on whatever your dominant frequency is. The higher your vibration, the higher your frequency, the higher, the quality of your life, the better it is. And so I was talking to a healer that was very popular in those days. She was a really well-known psychic, and she could tune into the energy field of a person and really gauge where they were at. She was using that scale that David Hawkins used for the scale of consciousness. And so she checked in and she said, you're right around 380 or so, and if you just need a little bit more, and then you will be past that frequency of 500, which is desired by everybody because it's love or above. And you can really begin to see some magical things happen in your life. And I said, okay, cool. And right after that, I joined your program. And then she came to my summit again, and I said, well, will you check my frequency again just for the heck of it, just to see? And she was shocked because it was in the thousands. And she said, what did you do? And I said, the only thing I did different was I joined this program, and it teaches you how to really change your frequency. And she said, well, whatever you're doing, honey, this is incredible. I have never seen anybody's frequency shoot up this much within a few months. So that, for me, was such a great experience, Joshua, and I've shared it with you, too. It was just like, wow, this was amazing.
Well, yeah, it's not only amazing, but it's so meaningful. I mean, to understand that anything is possible, and even things that we wouldn't consider to be possible, and people who can sense things, and like this lady you're talking about who was able to sense your frequency was different, and that people can be surprised about that too. It's like, wow, we can surprise ourselves and we can create new possibilities. And that's what this work is all about. It's about creating new possibilities and allowing yourself to choose new experiences, new possibilities, new outcomes that we don't even think are possible. I love it because I know that most of us don't believe that they can heal or change. And if I'm being completely honest, I didn't think I could either. There was a time in my life that, people were looking at me, and I was working so hard on trying to make a change, and I couldn't make that change, and I was looking for anything and everything that would help me get rid of the anxiety, because it was really bad. It was so bad that I wasn't functional a lot of the time. And so I wanted to be able to create a big change. And I would try everything, but did I really think that it was going to work? No, I didn't think it was really going to work. Did I believe it was going to work? No, not at all. I didn't believe it was going to work either. So that's the neat thing about quantum energy transformation, is that you don't even have to believe it will work for it to work. There's a lot of modalities out there where you have to have belief in the system, or you have to believe in what you're doing, or think that it works, or have some sort of a mindset. None of that is required. Most people, I feel, don't believe that they can change. They might say, well, everybody else can but me. And I feel that was my experience. Everybody else can heal but me. And then I proved myself wrong, and I healed myself in so many different ways. I no longer have migraine headaches, attention deficit disorder. I no longer get anxiety attacks. I no longer have a learning disability, and there's so many things that changed for me in my life. And it's all due to this work. But the neat thing was that I never really believed it was going to work until it worked. When it worked, then I believed it. That was where I was. But I don't think that I'm different than most people. I think most people don't believe that whatever they try is going to work for them. They might believe it would work for somebody else. They might believe that it may be possible, but probably not for them. And I know I felt that very strongly, that, I saw people transform right before my eyes on a daily basis, but I couldn't do that. That was what I was feeling. And I was experiencing for a while until I realized, well, that wasn't really working for me. Everybody else healing and changing, and then me not. That doesn't really work very well. So I started to consider the possibilities. So, well, what else is possible? Do I have to be stuck with all of these problems and only help others heal? Is that really what my life is about? And I got the answer, no, that's not what it's about. It's about trusting in myself and knowing that I can transform. But the truth of the matter is I didn't even have trust in myself when I got the results. I only trusted in myself when I got those results, after I got those results, because I didn't have trust before then, because I never proved to myself that I could do it. And I finally did. And again, I don't think that I'm any different than anybody else. I think most people consider that they wouldn't trust in themselves as much until they really transform something for themselves, because we really need to see that outcome. We really need to see, oh yeah, it does work. I actually achieved this goal. I actually released this problem. I actually transformed my ailment. You know, all of that. I don't believe that we believe in anything until we see that result for ourselves. And I think that's a really important point. And why it's so important is because most other things require that you have a belief in it. And quantum energy transformation does not require that. You could disbelieve in it, because it doesn't matter what you believe. It's based on science. Science works regardless of what you believe. And so you don't have to believe in it.
Very, very true. I just love that. And, you know, when I was learning the process, I remember I mostly, it wasn't whether I believed in it or not. It was just like, let's just see. You know, I was open to possibilities. Let's just see what happens. And then as I shared with you, my frequency was so high, it was really what you called, it went through the roof. I saw changes in my life, but also, instant changes in other people as I tried to help them with the process. I remember my cousin, who suffers from chronic migraine headaches, to the extent that she would have to actually get shots. Every time she got a headache, she had to go to the hospital, get a shot, otherwise she couldn't get over it. And I was able to help her within 30 minutes. Her migraine headache was gone. And everybody in the family was shocked, because, and I was also shocked because I was doing it, and I was like, oh my God, this is working. And she was completely headache-free. 30 minutes later, we walked downstairs, and everybody was really shocked, because by that time she would be throwing up big time, you know, because her migraine headaches were quite serious. And then I had a swollen knee that I had injured, and I had decided to go climbing with my daughters for a hiking trip, and when I came back, it was really swollen and throbbing. And I asked one of the other students that was in the program with me to work on me, and we released it that night when she worked with me. I think it was another 30 to 45 minutes, and that pain was gone, and it has never come back since then. So amazing things have happened with quantum transformation, which I just absolutely, absolutely love it. And what I want to ask you, Joshua, is help our listeners to understand, why is quantum energy transformation so different from anything else that is available today?
Well, I think what makes it so different is that we work at higher levels of change, and we don't work at strategies. And I think that is one of the biggest differences. And that's so key, because first of all, what I ask people to do is quite different than what most other programs are telling people to do. Sometimes it even seems opposite. And that's important, because if I'm telling you to do what everybody else is telling you to do, why would you expect different results? So many times you'll notice that I'm asking you to do things that are quite different. Other times you'll think that I'm asking you to do something that's the same as what other people have asked you to do, but I'm really not, because how you engage is also very important. And most people don't engage. In other words, people don't engage the process, they do the process, which is a strategy. Maybe people tap, or maybe people breathe, or maybe people do whatever the strategy is. And all those things are good. It's not like that's right or wrong or good or bad. But how you engage the breathing, or how you engage the tapping, or how you engage your beingness matters. And if you don't engage it, then you're not in the quantum field. If you do engage it, then you are in the quantum field. I teach you how to engage it differently. So even if what I'm telling you seems similar to somebody else's work, it's not at all. And that's a really big key. I have a lot of people who say, well, Joshua, I know this. And so then I take them through a process, and they say, oh, I don't know it like this. I know that people have told me to do such and such before, but you have me doing it in a different way because we're in the quantum field when we engage it. And that's really a different experience. So don't let it fool you that you think it might be similar or whatever to somebody else's work, because it really isn't. There is a way to engage it, and it's easy to do. It's so powerful, and it is life-changing. And that's what encourages me to keep sharing the work and sharing what I do in so many different ways. But that's not the only differences that quantum energy transformation holds. First of all, there's no dogma or religion in the work. And that means that there's nothing that you have to believe in order for it to work. So if you are one religion or another, or you come from one kind of community or a different type of community, it doesn't matter. Who you are is beautiful and wonderful. We love everyone. And we connect in such a way with the quantum field that no matter who you are matters, and in the sense of that you are special in your own right. And in that specialness, and you're connecting to the quantum field, everything changes for you based on who you are and who you're capable of becoming. So the work is based on you and your differences, because everybody's different. If you think about it, there are protocols that maybe a doctor or maybe a therapist would have you do. And the key to it is some of those techniques or procedures will work for some people, but there's a percentage that it won't work for. And the key is that in quantum energy transformation, we adjust the work to work for you. So there is no rule or protocol or something to follow that says this is the exact way you have to do it. Think of this. If you had to do it this exact way and it didn't work, what would you do? Well, you'd quit. You'd say, well, that didn't work. But that's not how quantum works. Quantum works in relation to you, and the differences that you bring to the experience are part of who you are. So everything changes based on you. So it's very specific to you, who you are, and the possibilities that you bring to the table. And when we give you the understanding of how to get into the quantum field, how to shift the energy inside the quantum field, how to engage, as I was saying before, how to engage the energy and information differently, then that's where the possibilities and change happen dramatically. So if you're listening to what I'm saying, you're hearing that the work isn't the same as what most people are offering, because it all has to do with who you are in relation to you being in this world, your connection to the morphogenetic fields as well as the quantum fields, and all the fields like your chakra fields and your auric field. All of those energies matter. And we show you how quantum really works in the true experience of being in a quantum field. And from that perspective, truly, anything becomes possible. And I know for myself, where I had anxiety attacks that were so bad that I wasn't functional, I am totally functional today. And I have a life beyond what I thought would ever be possible. And that's what I want for everyone. Why can't we all have that?
Beautiful. And that's why I get so excited. It's just so awesome. This is just so cool. So let's talk a little bit about one of the topics that was an eye-opener for me when I first heard you. And I get so many complaints from people that are trying everything, that keep doing different things, that especially when it comes to affirmations. And then I heard you and you were talking about the fact that affirmations don't work. Actually, they can be the opposite as a result sometimes. So if you can shed some light on that, that is, I think, is going to be an eye-opener for a lot of people like it was for me.
Wow. Well, you know, it's interesting about affirmations because around the time where the movie The Secret came out and people were working with the law of attraction very intently and intensely, and I was kind of new to the law of attraction at the time, and I was sort of considering it, but I didn't know much about it. But one of my students let me know that she had gotten this movie, The Secret, and ever since she got the movie, her life had changed. And so when it comes to transformation and healing, my ears were open, because if something was beneficial to somebody, you know, the truth is I like what works. You know, and if something works, I will consider it, and I will see if I can either incorporate it into something I do or to at least know about it so that I can help people with it if there was something better than what I was doing. So the student that I was working with with all these affirmations, and she was feeling really good. And so I talked to her one day, and she said that she was feeling really good based on doing the affirmations that the movie The Secret had suggested that she did. And so she sounded really good. And I was like, wow, well, then maybe I should consider this. So I said, can we talk tomorrow? Can we connect? Because I'd like to see how you're doing every day, and let's just see how we could ride this wave, you know? How cool is this? So she was engaging the affirmations the next day. And I was talking with her, and she sounded so excited. She says, I'm just affirming everything. It's just wonderful. And she's like in this dreamland world. And I'm like, wow, this sounds like this thing works. Maybe I really should start paying more attention to affirmations. So then the next day, she was still feeling pretty great. She was telling me how great affirmations worked, and she was using them every day. And on the fourth day, I didn't hear from her at all. So I called her late in the afternoon and said, how are you doing? She says, don't ask. I'm not doing well today. I said, oh, what happened? She said, I don't know. I keep affirming things. I keep doing the affirmations, and I feel worse today than before she ever did the affirmations. And she said, I don't know how to fix this. I don't know what to do. Well, I knew that she was in trouble, so I helped her. And I helped her move the energy with quantum energy transformation. Took about 5 minutes. And she said, thank God you called, Joshua, because I was really, really a mess. And I feel okay now, she said. And I got an intuition at that moment, realizing what happened. So when you have an affirmation that you keep saying, the reason that you're saying the affirmation is because you don't yet believe it and you want to. So you're saying the affirmation in such a way that you would want to bring this new belief or new way of working into your experience. Now, the belief level is only a little bit higher than the strategy level, so not so great, by the way. Not so great to work at the belief level either. But that's where affirmations work, at the belief level. So what she was doing, which is interesting, is she was suppressing the negative energy that was coming up from the affirmation. And you can imagine, if you don't believe something, there's going to be a part of you that says, I don't believe that. That's hogwash, or that's not true, or that's not in alignment with me in some way. And so she was saying, I am wonderful and great in every way. And there's a part of her saying, oh, no, you're not. You know, you're not wonderful and great. I can point out the things you're not wonderful and great in. You know, it's all happening in the background.
It's almost triggering. Yeah, it's almost triggering all that debris.
It's definitely triggering. Yeah, so she's getting triggered, but she's ignoring that trigger. She's actually ignoring it, but not even knowing that she's ignoring it because it's all unconscious. So she's saying these great things, and at first feeling really, really fabulous, and then she starts saying she continues to say the things, and it starts to backfire. And this is what most affirmations tend to do. So it finally backfired on her after about 4 days of being really, really energized, but it backfired like much worse than it was before. And so she got really stuck in this energy because she had this wonderful feeling that was in the forefront, but in the background she was building a boulder. And the boulder got so big that she couldn't suppress it anymore. It was coming up whether she liked it or not. And when it came up, she couldn't handle it because it came up so large because of the amount of pressure she was using to suppress and not feel the negative aspect. So when I worked with her, I was able to use quantum energy transformation to easily release it because the size of the energy is irrelevant to the release in quantum energy transformation. So it could be small or huge, and the release is pretty much the same. But it does release the whole thing. So we released it, and I realized, wow, I can see the damage that affirmations can cause because she didn't know what hit her. And it really hit her pretty badly, to a point where she wasn't functional. I mean, really not functional. And she was pretty scared about how she was feeling. She was like, well, what do I do with this? This is too big. And then I realized that, affirmations just don't work, not in the way that we're using them. Now, then there's complicated ways to use affirmations, too. You can find affirmations that would work for you by muscle testing them and working to find the very right words to use and all that stuff. And to be honest with you, who has the time for that? I don't. I can't possibly think of spending 20 minutes to figure out what the affirmation is that I should use. Oh, believe you me, I could release it within 7. So why would I even bother spending 20 minutes trying to figure out what affirmations will work for me? I could resolve the problem quicker.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's the whole thing. You can actually resolve the whole problem far quicker using quantum energy transformation, and that's why I love it so much. It's really, really an amazing process. And I know, Joshua, that you had picked a couple of processes that you wanted our listeners to experience today with you, and it would be awesome if I think right about now if you wanted to have that experience for our listeners. I think that would be great.
Absolutely. Well, the first one is just simply getting into the quantum field. And although this is just the beginning, it's quite profound. And then I'm going to bring you into an experience after getting into the quantum field where you can use your breath to enhance the experience and take you, in a sense, on a journey of letting go or a journey of shift or change. I like the word quantum shift because that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a quantum shift right now. I love the experience of shifting energy because in quantum energy transformation, it's all about shifting your energy frequency to a higher frequency. In quantum energy transformation, it actually can happen permanently. So typically when you raise your energy frequency, we tone or chant or we go for a walk. You could take a shower. There's lots of different ways to raise your energy frequency. You can use tuning forks. You can use all sorts of great ways of raising your energy frequency. Unfortunately, when you do, it works like a bell curve. So it starts at the bottom of the curve. You start doing something that raises your energy frequency until it peaks in the middle. And then after a while, it starts to go down, and then you sort of lose it at the end. I'm sure you've all experienced this kind of experience when engaging yoga. You go to yoga and you're not feeling like you want to, and then you go to yoga, and by the time you're in the middle of the yoga, you're like, woohoo, I'm feeling good. And then you're done with yoga, and you're like, yes, that was fantastic. I feel like me. I feel so great. And about 20 minutes later, well, all that sort of goes away too. And then you're like, oh, I got to go do yoga again. But unfortunately, who has time to do an hour and a half of yoga and then have to redo it every hour or every 2 hours just to maintain a good sense of being? And I know for me, I try to use yoga as a way of managing my anxiety. And again, because I was using a strategy, I did have to manage it, if you would. Mm-hmm. So yoga was one of those things that I love to do, and it brought me into a great place, but it just didn't last long enough. And I just didn't have the time to be in yoga all day. I wanted to do other things with my life, not just yoga, So I really want to explain that this, what we're going to do now is going to be like doing an hour and a half of yoga in literally just a couple minutes. So, yeah, isn't that cool? And then the other thing that it will do is if you engage it the way I ask you to, then it will also permanently change your energy frequency so that you don't have to keep engaging this exercise to stay at that frequency. That's just your new frequency. So that's a neat gift that you'll also receive. So I would recommend standing up for this if you can. If you can't stand up, it can work sitting down. But if you do stand up, you will definitely feel a different or a more the results will be more apparent to you. That's a good way to say it. So if you're standing up, I just simply want you to just stand so that you're comfortable. And if you feel like you're not so stable, or if breathing makes you feel like you're not so stable, sometimes people get dizzy when they breathe. And it's okay if you get dizzy when you breathe, because all that means is there are two things. One is you're getting more oxygen into your body than your body is used to, so you feel dizzy. And the second reason that it happens is because a change or a shift is happening. And both of those things are fine and even beneficial. So if you feel you need to hold on to something, then I recommend that you do that too. In either case, you just stand there, and I want you to just take in one deep breath just to bring in some goodness. And let it out. Just by doing that, that's kind of a nice thing. What I'd like you to do is think about engaging your body, engaging your energy. This isn't about doing a strategy. This is about engaging your body and creating a new beingness. Okay? From this experience, all I want you to do is soften your body now. So if you're standing there, you might feel like, oh, part of you is tightening in your chest or tightening in your hips or tightening in your back. Let that go. Soften. Allow your body to soften wherever you feel tight. Good. Now, with your body and feeling inside of your body, excuse me, feeling inside of your body, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to just imagine that you have a beautiful ball of energy right before you, floating in the air. Grab it with your real hands. Grab that energy and just have it out right in front of you. Feel it in your hands and just sense what it feels like to have this energy. Feels good, right? This energy right before you holds healing, transformation, openness, beingness. The next evolution of you is all in this energy ball in your hands. Just sense it. Good. As you hold this ball of energy, we're going to bring it up to the top of your head and allow it to go down into the top of your head, going behind your eyes, passing your throat, allowing it to go as it goes down, passing your heart, your upper stomach, your lower stomach, and letting it go down your legs. In a sense, the energy can go down both of your legs, passing your knees, going into your feet and underneath your feet, as though it were a new platform of support for you. And just sense that support. Sense what it feels like to have that kind of strength support you always, from here on out and into the future. And feel underneath your feet that support as if the strength of you or that support. Good. And just allow yourself to put your awareness under your feet within that area of support and feel how it strengthens you. Feel how the energy from underneath your feet support and strengthen you. And just get a sense of that strength, that support. Good. Feels good, right? Just notice it. Good. Now we're going to add breathing. So what we've done so far is simply connect with the quantum field, and therefore we are in the quantum experience. So just simply keeping your awareness underneath your feet will keep you in the quantum experience. Now, if you lift your attention, then you'll leave the quantum experience. So I'd like for you to just bring it down all the way under your feet, keeping yourself in the quantum experience. Can you commit to that for the moment? With your attention under your feet, I'd like you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. By doing so, we're strengthening our energetic system as well as our meridian system. And just breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth with a wind sound. Allow your out-breath to be longer than your in-breath, and breathe in again. And breathe out, keeping your attention under your feet. Just keep breathing. In through your nose, out through your mouth with a long out-breath. Good. Just connecting inside your body, feeling the cells of your body inside of you. You might notice it's getting cold, or you might notice it's creating heat. Either way is good. Just keep breathing. Now we're going to engage 10 candle breaths. So while I'm talking, keep your awareness under your feet. A candle breath is a hard breath that's like blowing out birthday candles, but doing it in rapid form. So you're going to just blow out the birthday candles over and over and over again 10 times. Let's do it together. You might get dizzy here, so make sure you're holding on if you feel more secure doing that. And we're just going to do 10 hard, really hard breaths. And the purpose of this is to really get a big flow of energy. Remember to keep your awareness under your feet, or what you're doing with the flow won't matter, okay, or with the breath won't matter. So make sure it matters by keeping your attention under your feet. Here we go, 10 candle breaths. 1, 2, 3, harder, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one. 10, breathe in and out. Make sure you keep breathing. Hold on if you need to. In through your nose and out through your mouth with a nice breath. And let it balance, keeping your awareness under your feet. Keep the energy under your feet. Allow the balance to happen. If you feel dizzy, it's okay. Just keep breathing. Nice and easy. Back to the original breath we were doing. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. And just be. Good. Now, you should notice that you might feel a little bit slightly dizzy at this point. You'll notice that if you keep your awareness under your feet, it will resolve that dizziness very quickly. Now, what you should notice at this point is you might notice that things got really bright. So if you closed your eyes or you didn't close your eyes, doesn't matter. You probably noticed that the room that you're in is much brighter than it was before. You're also going to probably notice that you feel taller. If you take a walk and you step, it might feel like you're walking on top of something other than the floor, as though it were lifting you higher, or that you feel taller. So check that out and see if you notice that. You probably notice that you feel more open, relaxed, have more confidence, feel like you're in your power, feel like you can handle anything, feel calm and open, but energized at the same time. This is the energy that we always want to be in. And if you went through an hour and a half of yoga, you'd probably feel much like you're in this place. However, you can get to this place in just a couple minutes. And look at where you are now. Look at who you are now. What else is possible? So, Erin, what are you noticing?
I always love this process, of course, Joshua. I just always love going through this, and I, of course, do this on a regular basis, too. I always feel like the room is much brighter. I have more awareness. It's an expanded sense of awareness for me. And I use it routinely, really, to release all kinds of aches, pains that might be showing up in my body. It's funny. I was invited to test a few products with someone, and they had really high-end lasers and really cool stuff that they wanted me to test. And they said, any kind of pain that you have in your body, you can use it for that. And I'm sitting there going, I just don't have any. I really have no aches and pains. I don't know what to use it for. So this is just such a very cool process. What I'd love to do, actually, Joshua, is maybe talk to one of our listeners that tried the process and see how they feel. Is that okay with you?
Absolutely. Let's do that.
Yeah. So we are going to, let's see, area code 319. You're unmuted. Hello? Okay. So let's see now. 518 area code.
Hello?
518. Hi there. Who's this?
Hi, this is Marlene. How are you?
Great, Marlene. How are you?
Doing better. I was having a day of pain in my knee, burning, and my arm. And when we're doing that process, of course, I did get dizzy. But the pain is less now.
Great.
Excellent.
Great. That's awesome. Yeah. And do you need any assistance from Joshua? Because now that we have you on the phone, we might as well have you talk to Joshua.
Yes. Let me see. I have been going through a lot of stress. Ready to move, too, so that's making it more stressful. And my eyesight has been really bugging me. I'm wondering if this process could help with that, like clear it up and make it not cloudy.
Absolutely. The interesting thing about stress is that it causes at least 75% of all illness and ailments. And I'm being very conservative here because it's probably more than that by a lot. So stress is one of those things that really is a big problem, because we think, we've got a problem, an ailment, or an issue, and really it's not the ailment or an issue that's the problem. It's the stress that caused it in the first place.
Right.
So that's the big one right there. So the key to working with your stress is to allow yourself to release it. And what we just did was we did just that. We got into the quantum field, and then we released the stress, in a sense, by breathing. If you think about when the wind blows, it blows the trees, right? And it goes through the trees, it goes through buildings, it goes everywhere. And what do you notice? Things blow around. Well, so that's how stress moves through the body. So when the wind blows, which means you're breathing, you're making the wind. When you breathe and make the wind in your body, then you actually shake things up a bit. And when you breathe and you're in the quantum field, what you do is amplified. And the possibilities of making huge change become possible when before it was not possible through the breath. And there's so many different types of breath work out there these days, and everybody's breathing, and they're not getting the result. I mean, I know people who engage yoga breathe all the time, but it's not common for them to get, a result like we get in quantum energy transformation. And the reason is because although they're breathing, they're not engaging, which is what I was saying before. Engaging is the key. And engaging is simply using your attention to feel what's happening in your body, but not where you necessarily feel it, but feeling what you feel in your body with your awareness at the base of your spine or under your feet, which is what we were doing just a few minutes ago. So with this, I'm excited to hear that your pain is less, and you did it for, 5 minutes or something like that, right? Because that's all we did. Could you imagine if you spent 10 minutes where you'd be at that point, or you spent 15 minutes? You can see the benefit in just doing it for a few minutes, but if you did it for longer, you would get a larger result. So where are you feeling this pain now? Do you feel it at all, or is it gone?
Right now, there's just a little bit on the left leg. I have like varicose veins in that leg, and it seems to be wanting to, be there. That's where the energy is going, I guess. There's like a pain there.
Yeah, I love that you call it energy, because that's all it is energy. So can you just put your attention at the base of your spine?
Yep.
And just really connect with your tailbone area. And as you engage the base of your spine with your intention and your attention, can you just breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth? Beautiful. Just keep doing that. Remember, engaging means your attention and awareness is in your body, either at the base of your spine or under your feet. And just be with your breath, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And if you could allow more space in that leg, just allowing more space, could you just allow that space? And keep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just allow. See what happens. How are you feeling now?
Dizzy.
Dizzy, okay. Other than dizzy, so we know that dizzy means that you're getting more oxygen, and it means that change is occurring. So other than dizzy, what are you noticing?
Feels like almost like there's hands on my knee. I can't explain that.
Yeah.
Feels like that. I don't know.
As if you're getting some healing, no?
Yeah.
Great. And what else do you notice?
Like, I don't know. It feels like there's energy moving through my body.
Aha. Isn't that interesting? So when you added that space, you allowed energy to flow through your body. So when the wind blows and energy moves, transformation comes next. So has the pain changed?
Yeah, it's not burning now. It's just, like I said, it feels like, now it's even lighter. It feels like somebody's hand is on my knee.
Okay. Your body will create whatever you need. And it seems like what your body is saying is that you need support, and so it feels like your body is being supported by almost like somebody was putting their hands on your knee. But your body is creating what it needs to be able to heal because you're giving it the opportunity to do so. So your energy has the most amazing ability to do anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
So nobody else needs to put their hand on your knee. I mean, you're engaging your body, and it's doing what it requires. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, now it's even lighter, Joshua.
Excellent.
Beautiful.
Excellent. So it's just and I feel like your stress is so much better. There, like something just left just a second ago. I felt like this big energy went poof, left. So, that's pretty powerful stuff. I mean, this is very easy. This doesn't take, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to be able to do this. But at the same time, it's very profound. The experience is quite amazing because really you can shift something in just a few minutes.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. Well, that also work, for eyesight if you do the same thing.
Yes, eyesight is about identity. It's about who you are, who you're becoming, who you've been. Who are you to not see at the moment, or see as well as you'd like. The key of eyesight is simply that the stress that you've been dealing with is not only in relation to the experiences outside of you, but experiences inside of you related to who you are and your identity. So, yes, this work can definitely help you shift that, and it can help you shift it quickly. Eyesight is one of those things that changes very dramatically with this work, because we can get to the higher levels of change that you really can't get to in other kinds of work.
Yeah, I've tried a lot of it. It's more like they blame you. A lot of them are blaming you,
Yep, I hear you. I hear you. And that doesn't feel good or work very well for most people when they blame you.
Born with something that you inherited. I'm saying, how can that be my fault? And I did not want it.
Yeah, then they get into forgiveness, which doesn't work for me either.
And remember what Joshua said, that with this work, anything is possible, whether you have some stuff that you were born with, whether you have stuff that is karmic, and we're going to be talking about that in a little bit more detail, but I'm so glad you got the help you needed. It's just awesome. So fabulous to even, hear it in your voice. It's totally different from when you started on the call. Keep us posted.
I it too, Aram. My leg is totally pain-free now, so... You know that?
And it will, I love it. I love it. I am so happy. I see your name every day on the queue list, that you have your hand raised, you show up early, raise your hand. So I'm so glad you got the help today, darling. It's just so awesome.
You.
Thank you for your patience. Yeah, thank you. Lots of love to you.
You too.
Oh, this is so cool, Joshua. I just love you for doing this for her. It's just so awesome because, this is why I get so excited, really, that no matter how long you have been suffering, no matter how you feel like, oh, I'm just so ready to give up because nothing works for me, and then something like this happens. Remember what I said when we started the call? That what if today was the day that everything changed? And it really is, because I have witnessed incredible shifts in people using this amazing teaching that Joshua has. I keep wanting to say technique, and then I remember it's not a technique. It's magic, really. It's miraculous. And what Joshua says is anything is possible, and it is true. Anything is possible when you're in this beautiful field. So what I want to do now, Joshua, is talk about your amazing offer, because I have a lot of questions on the webcast. People are wanting to know, will this help for this? Will it help for that? And I know that all those questions will be answered when we talk about this offer, because really this is for everything. This is for everything, and you can use these techniques to really shift any kind of blockage or any kind of dis-ease that you have in your life. So let me announce the URL, and then Joshua, if you can please explain how this special offer works. Like I said, this has been one of the most popular offers we have had. Anytime we offer it, people just love it, and for good reason. So the URL is, for those people that are on the phone lines, you need to type in orderjoynow.com/Joshua10, and that's orderjoynow.com/JOSHUA, and then the number 10. And of course, as always, on the webcast and then on the replay page, we will have a special offer button. You can just press that, and it's going to take you to this page where we have Joshua's amazing offer. Now, if you can help explain how this works, Joshua, how can people really create those magical results that all of your clients have been able to achieve?
Well, this is a really special program because it's all about experience. It's very much of an experiential program. And I think that's important because you could read a book and you can get information that way. Someone can tell you things and you can get information that way. But nothing beats your experience. It doesn't really matter what you read or what you learn, because it's not about learning more. It's really about experiencing something that works. And that's the key. That's the key. So this program, I'm sure you're not shocked to know, it's called Anything is Possible. And why? Because anything really is possible. And through the experiences that this program offers, you're going to learn how anything is possible and really experience amazing shifts. First of all, it comes with my movie called The Ultimate Answer is Inside. I created a movie with some very well-known people like Bernie Siegel, Donna Eden, James Oshman, also Henry Grayson. Donna Eden's husband also is in the movie, David Feinstein. There's so many people in here that are pretty well known who share with us how transformation really works. And we're all saying the same thing, but from different perspectives. Like Dr. Bruce Lipton speaks from a scientific perspective. And James Oshman speaks in the perspective of energy medicine, and so does Donna Eden. And it's pretty amazing what you go through. And in this movie, it's not just a movie that you watch. I teach you in the beginning of the movie how to engage the movie itself. And if you follow that, you will, in a sense, be going through a 2-hour healing session, which is awesome. So, in other words, you're going to go through a 2-hour healing session, engaging the movie, engaging your body, and allowing the movie to take you into yourself to create deep and profound change. And there are many concepts that you're going to be learning, but there are going to be experiences in the movie as well that you get to experience. Different ways of breathing, different ways of using your attention. We show it all to you so that you can actually make change well beyond what you think is possible. Item number 2 is called Affirmations Don't Work. And today on the call, I talked a little bit about affirmations and how they don't work, so you really get that now. But what this is going to show you is an experience of 2 different women who went through affirmations in their life. And they used affirmations in their life, and one of them has the perspective that affirmations don't work, and the other one had the perspective that affirmations do work. And what I shared with them in this experience is that no matter what their perspective was, I was able to show them how affirmations in the way that I use them, it was much more powerful than either of them were using, and instantly they experienced results that were well beyond regular, normal transformation. They were really profound and amazing. And so I take you through the experience of how affirmations really don't work and what the problem is, and some of that you know, and then I actually take you through an experience of really creating deep and dramatic change simply with the understanding of affirmations and how to use them quite differently to get instant results, literally instant results. The third item is called Anything is Possible, Instantly Release Traumatic Events. One of my best videos that I've ever made, and what I did was I recorded all the times that I went out into workshops and presentations, and I recorded those experiences on film. And then I edited them together into this particular experience where you can watch right before your eyes people transforming and shifting instantly. What's really powerful about it is not that you get to watch other people transform and learn the process through it, because you can do that. But that's not the juice of this particular information that I share in this video. What I share that's really key is that you, yourself, can engage with yourself while the person you see on the video is engaging with their self. And you can together transform your issue. And I've had lots of people write into me and say, Joshua, I love that you suggested to transform with the people on the video, because it really works. And what we do know is that when more than one person are engaging together, it enhances the experience and results. And because the energy is stored in the video, your energy system, the universe, your body cannot tell the difference between the video and a real person. So you get the same results as an amplified results, actually, as if you were engaging with me, that other person that I'm working with, and yourself. So now you got three people helping you transform simply by watching the video, and it really is a beautiful thing. One of the most amazing things is to engage this video. Remember I said it's all about engagement. It's not about just doing something. It's about engaging yourself through the process, and that's what this video teaches you to do. Item number 4 is the basics of quantum energy transformation, and it is 73 minutes long. It's an amazing experience as well. It gives you the basics of quantum energy transformation. And a lot of people have a lot of questions, and we probably weren't able to answer all of them today on this call. So this particular conversation is really about questions that many, many people have asked, and people want to know about the work, and it really gives you the answers that you are looking for. It teaches you about what if there were no limitations, and how does quantum energy transformation work, and how can it be used, and can it help me with my problem, and all of those questions are answered in this experience, and it really is a powerful audio. In addition, item number 5 is called Being Quantum, and this is something I don't offer very often, but I'm offering it to you and your audience, Aram, because it is one of the most profound videos I've ever made in relation to being quantum. Being quantum is the experience of going into the quantum field. It is it's the next step after the experience we did today on our call. So it's getting you into the being quantum energy. And it's not about the technique of getting into that space, but it's about being quantum, so that you're not just doing the quantum experience, you're being it. And so this teaches you how to be it, stay in it, and really get there. It is an instructional video as much as it is a demonstration, as much as it is teaching you how to live from this perspective. It is life-changing. It is powerful to experience it. And when you live in the quantum field, then anything is possible all the time. So it's like your next step after listening to this and experiencing this, what we did today, actually. We talked about stress earlier. Item number 6 is all about eliminating your stress. We know that at least 75% of all illness is caused by stress. And like I said, I was being liberal, or conservative, excuse me. I was being conservative with that. I think it's more like 90 to 99% of illness is caused by stress. It's really, really high. And even if it was 75% of all illness is created or caused by stress, even that's quite revealing. So I created a process that teaches you how to eliminate your stress in literally 2 minutes. I have many ways of showing you how to engage it in this program. So it's an amazing video that takes you through how to eliminate your stress. It works. It's simple. Could you imagine just eliminating your stress in just 2 minutes anytime you wanted to? So if you had an argument with somebody and it was just so crazy for you, or if you were at work and you got overly overwhelmed and everything was just so strong, or you just felt badly and you didn't know why, or whatever it was, you can eliminate your stress, feel good in just 2 minutes. Literally, it works just like that. It is one of my most beloved programs in itself because it teaches you such a vital, what do we want to call it? A vital life skill. It teaches you a life skill that you will have for the rest of your life, and it will help you every time. I have students that use that process every single day at different times, and just sometimes once a day really is enough. As you build momentum with it, by doing it, a couple times a day at first, you'll be able to do it just once a day and maybe even once a week and still have the same result all day or all week long because the momentum carries you through. It really is life-changing. Then we have item number 7. I know there's more, but it's really a big program here. It's all about strengthening your ground. One of the things is that we don't feel stable or safe. Sometimes we just don't feel like we have a good ground. I know I didn't have any ground when I started using or learning healing processes myself. I didn't have a ground. So when you don't have a ground, it's kind of hard to use your ground to support you. So how can you heal, right? It sort of is a limiting thing. So this particular guided connection teaches you how to ground, and that is so crucial to learn. And it's also beautiful to listen to. It's a beautiful experience. Like I said, it's a guided connection, different than a meditation, and quite different of an experience. In a meditation or hypnosis, it takes much longer. This is only a 12-minute experience. In 12 minutes, you'll change your life. When you think about a meditation or a hypnosis, you have to engage that for at least 45 minutes to an hour before you really get there. You get there much quicker with a guided connection, and strengthening your ground is a perfect way to do that. Item number 8 is get out of your head and back into your body. It's another way of strengthening your ground, but from a different perspective, and it really teaches you a skill of getting into your body while at the same time not being in the energy of your intellect. We think that our intellect is the only part of us that thinks. But the truth of the matter is your whole body thinks, and that's what's really amazing. So whole body thinking is what you're going to be learning in getting out of your head and back into your body. It's a very, very quick guided connection. It's only 4 minutes, and yet in 4 minutes you'll change your life with this guided connection. There is a bonus. It's called, as much as there is a lot of items in here, there's a bonus called Transform Anything Now. You've got an issue or a problem, bring it to this guided connection, and the problem will transform in 11 minutes. And that's pretty powerful. So you want to delete or release or shift anything, go ahead. Use this to transform it in just 11 minutes. Now, let's just say, worst case scenario, let's say it doesn't fully move in 11 minutes. Okay, so do it again. So in double the time, which would be what, 22 minutes? So in 22 minutes, which is a very long time in quantum, okay, that's a very long time. So if it happens in 22 minutes instead of 11, would you be disappointed? Probably, I doubt it. I think you'd be very happy, and I would too. So consider this. If it happens in 11 minutes, or if you repeat it and it happens in 22 minutes, okay, I'm good with that. So typically it happens in 11 minutes, by the way, but, I'm just saying, worst case scenario, it's still great. The second bonus is called Discovering the Science of Quantum Manifestation. We know at this point that the law of attraction is really not serving us in the way that it's been taught. Dr. Bruce Lipton has said the law of attraction doesn't work, and we talk about that in my movie, at least in the way it's been taught to us. And the key to it is this. Things in your life don't happen consciously, but 95% of the time they happen unconsciously. So in order for the law of attraction to work, it's got to work unconsciously. Well, that's what I teach, and it's based on the science of Dr. Bruce Lipton. So if you know who he is, he's an amazing quantum or cellular biologist. He's the top in his field, and he really knows about all of these things that we're learning, the law of attraction and everything else. And he says it doesn't work. I totally agree with him. And the way that I teach you teaches you how to manifest in a way that you've never done so before. And this particular experience, called Discovering the Science of Quantum Manifestation, I teach you how to manifest anything easily and instantly with no effort. I teach you how to manifest your dreams at the highest level of consciousness. I teach you how to change your energy and how to do that quickly and to change it so that you attract what you choose to attract, realizing that we have to do this in a way that's not conscious because you're only conscious 5% of the time. So we've got to get it to work unconsciously. The people that join me in this conversation are Bruce Lipton, Bernie Siegel, Norm Shealy, James Oshman, Donna Eden, Henry Grayson, and more. They're all sharing their points along with me, just like in the movie, but obviously in a different subject. And you can learn how to discover your manifestation and learn the skills you need to so that manifestation works for you easily. So it's pretty powerful. Then in bonus number 3, Manifest Anything at the Blink of an Eye, is a video in which I teach you how to manifest. So they both go together, both bonus number 2 and bonus number 3 work together to teach you how to manifest, and many times you can manifest quite instantly. And it's a powerful skills to learn. And when you learn the skills from an unconscious point of view, then they become not only permanent, but you can create it over and over again and have the life that you choose. And I know that I've been stuck in this area myself in the past, and no more. I'm no longer stuck there. It's pretty amazing. I manifest what I require, and my life transforms easily whenever I choose to, which is all the time. So when you choose to, it will do the same for you. I'm no different than anybody else. A lot of healers say, well, they have a special gift. I believe we all have a special gift. If I can do it, well, then you certainly can do it too. So powerful stuff. On top of that, I give you one amazing bonus that comes from my heart, and that's a membership center with unlimited access where you can ask me questions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I'm going to be there for you along with my team. We're both going to be there for you to answer your questions. I know I've bought many programs myself. I know you have bought many programs yourself too. And how often do you really get help? How often do you have access to the author of that program? How often do you really get someone who's going to support you through your program the whole way and be there as a committed member of your process to your own results? Not very, at least in my experience and the experiences of many students who've told me, no, when I buy a program, typically I don't get help. Well, in this program you do. I will be there along with my team to support and help you through the program. And that's why I give you a membership center account in which you have 24/7 access to, in which you can ask me questions every day. Your programs are there. You can download your programs from there. It's really easy. It's really powerful to know that you're going to get help. It's really important to me. I was having a conversation with yesterday with one of the women that works for me, Vera, and she said, Joshua, the one thing that really is very special about what you offer is that you give people help while they go through the program. And she said when she went through the program that was one of the most beneficial things for her, and it really helped her get through some very difficult times. And knowing that she had that help there all the time. Typically, you don't get help unless you buy, a program of thousands and thousands of dollars. This program is literally $99 and well worth much more. Just one of the items is worth $99 in this program, and you're going to get it all.
And I totally agree, because if you could just transform the one thing you want to transform, this is way more worth than $99. It's really, really an amazing offer. And like I said in the past also, it's been one of our most popular ones, and I've heard some really great results that people have experienced. And that's why we keep asking Joshua to come back, even though it's been, I think, since pretty much the beginning that I started in this career, Joshua, that you've been a guest on this show, because this stuff really works. It's really, really awesome. I'm getting some comments from the webcast also, people that have tried it and love it, and others that haven't tried it but are super excited to be able to, be given a chance. It's actually, the offer says right now, I think it says 94%, but it's actually more than that. It's probably a discount of more like 97%. So it's really, really a very generous offer from Joshua. And like I said, this stuff really works. And anything is possible with this. We've been saying that we do have still questions. I guess this is what happens when you allow the thinking brain to kick in. It's like, yes, anything is possible, but is my issue really possible? So I've got questions on, will this help me with financial issues? Will this help me with, and then people have different ailments that they are listing, including ADHD and some other stuff, and then relationship issues. So there's tons of questions, which I'm kind of just lumping them up in one question, Joshua, and I'm asking, who is this package for? Who is this offer for? Who will benefit from this?
That's a great question. The nice thing about this work is that the issue itself is irrelevant, because we really take it down to the bottom of the easiest understanding, which is this: everything is energy. And because everything is energy, we don't have to be an expert in every particular ailment, because you simply move the energy and it resolves that ailment. I myself had ADD and dyslexia, don't have them anymore, and this work has changed that for me. I don't have to live my life with being scattered, because I was quite scattered. I was also quite hyper, and I'm no longer either of those things. I have had lots of ailments, whether it was pain, migraine headaches, all sorts of things I've had, and it works for all of these things. What's great about this particular program is that it's all put together in a group of exercises and experiences. Remember I said experience is the best thing. Nothing beats experience. So you're going to experience each exercise. I guarantee you that one of those exercises is going to be really wonderful for you. Because we're all different, one exercise might be better than another one. And therefore, we've given you so many. I mean, so many exercises are in this program. We've given you experiences beyond experience in this program. And I think that's because I know that what we teach works. We hear it back from our students. I know because it's changed my life personally, and Aram, it's changed your life as well. And it's just that special and that powerful. And I wouldn't be here with you, sharing with you this program if I didn't think it was really that spectacular. It really is. And I wouldn't waste my time being here unless it was that spectacular. So together, we know what this program can do for people. The best thing to do is to try it out and know that it can also work for you, because anything is truly possible.
Yeah, and then that's exactly true. Once you approach this with this mindset that anything is truly possible, it really does become truly possible, and that's what others have experienced. There are tons and tons of testimonials here on this page, Joshua, and I encourage our listeners to actually read these, but I would love for you to maybe share one or two of your favorite stories that you've experienced with a client or two lately.
Wow. There are so many stories and so many experiences that I've experienced, which is wonderful, because it's just that kind of work that just produces this kind of result. One of the best stories I like to share with people is that there was a young girl at the age of 16 who got hit in the head at least one too many times. And she got hit in the head, and her mom called me. She was into athletics, so she got hit in the head there. But for some reason, she just kept getting hit in the head, and it caused concussions and damage actually. And she was going to Walter Reed Hospital, and her mom called me and said, "I've got my daughter in the best hospital. I got my daughter as much help as I can, but nothing is really working. Will this work help?" And I said, "Listen, I don't know, because at the time I had not worked with any issues like this, where somebody has damage to their head at this level." And so I said, "It certainly couldn't hurt, and if we could make a difference when nothing else is working, well, it would be worth it." So the mom said, I will take that chance, and I will come in," and she did. And I spent about 45 minutes, which was a long time in quantum, but we spent about 45 minutes. Her headache when we started, because she had a lot of issues. First of all, she couldn't listen to music because her head hurt too much. If you can imagine a 16-year-old not being able to listen to music is very difficult. She couldn't spend time with her friends because they were too loud, at 16, She couldn't really go to school because the hallways were too loud when she would walk through them. She really couldn't function because of this head injury. So she was, at this point, home, not going to school, not seeing her friends, really outcasted, in a sense, by this ailment, not being able to do what she'd want to do as a 16-year-old girl. And so we worked with her for 15 minutes. We worked with her for 45 minutes, I meant to say. And in that 45 minutes, we brought it down from, 10 is like the top number, so she said it was a 15. Okay, so it was worse than the worst. And we brought it down to a 1. When we walked out of the room, I walked out first, and then her mother got out the chair, and she said, "Well?" And she said, "I'm at a 1. Now, her mother almost fell over because she, didn't think it would work. Like I said, most people don't think, "Oh, this is going to work." We're just seeing if it will work, And so she was at a 1. Her mother almost fell over because of it, thinking, "Oh my, I can't believe you're saying that it's at a 1. It's never been at a 1. Maybe it was at a 10, or maybe it was at an 8. But rarely, or if ever, was it ever at a 1. And so I did one more session with her. We took it from a 1 to a 0, and we transformed it completely until she got hit in the head again. When she got hit in the head, well, you know who they called. They called me, and they said, "Well, she got hit in the head again with a football this time." She was just standing in the quad at school, and one of the boys threw a football, and her head was like the magnet for it, and she got hit in the head. And so she was very scared that she couldn't function again, or wouldn't be able to function again. So she came to me, and we resolved it in a session. Wasn't a big deal to resolve it. But in that session, what I also resolved was somehow she was a magnet for getting hit in the head. So I didn't want her to continue to have to fix it every time she got hit in the head. So we actually released her pattern for getting hit in the head. So we released that pattern. She hasn't gotten hit in the head since, and now she's no longer 16. I think she's got to be in her 20s now, and she's just feeling great, and no issue with that. The same woman, when she came in for her second, or young girl at the time, when she came into that session, because we were able to heal it so quickly, I said we had some extra time, and she asked me, "Well, I'm going to go have ice cream with my friends. Do you think you can help me with my lactose intolerance?" She said, "I'm going to eat ice cream anyway, and if I feel bad, I feel bad, but I don't want to not have that experience with my friends." So in basically literally 6 minutes, we cleared her lactose intolerance, and that went away instantly as well. She had ice cream with her friends. She didn't have any problem with the ice cream, and still doesn't to this day. So the work can really help anything if you can understand.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, what a great story. It is so inspiring, to be able to see that kind of change in a young person's life, especially because you're exposing them to this possibility that really anything is possible when you would step into this field. And then they can go and share that with other people. We're really, truly changing the world at that level. It's so awesome. And yet here we are, and we can totally do this too, no matter what age you are, no matter what your issue. With quantum energy transformation, you can really bring about change, whatever area you want to change. And that's the beauty of it. Really, the world is shifting towards that. The world is ready for this message. And we're seeing people adopting that and working with this. So this is truly so awesome, Joshua. And like I said, I'm so grateful for this amazing offer that you have for our listeners, because not only do they get a lot of stuff in this package, you have loaded it with amazing bonuses also. Our listeners are really excited. I'm reading comments from people that are so thrilled. And then, of course, to have time with you, that is just priceless, because I have worked with you. And I know that it's amazing to have your support, and what a generous and caring, kind, loving heart you have. And it's just great to be in that space. The other thing I wanted to do was quickly read you a comment that's from one of our listeners who's very excited about your product. She was ordering it and saying, "Yippee, this is totally awesome." And so she wrote in, and this is from Carmen, and she said, "Iram, you have such angels on your program. I love this man. He's an angel. And you always have, you're blessed by angels, and you are coming to us by way of your blessed show. Much, much gratitude." So you are an angel, Joshua. That's what people are feeling about you. That is so cool.
That warms my heart so much, because, the reason that I do this work is so I can help so many people. I used to do this work in one area, and I decided that the whole world needs to know about this and be able to create success for themselves. Students were telling me, "Joshua, more than what you're able to do with just us, we need everybody to know this." And so I went international, which was a very scary and big thing to do. And I am excited that I've done that, and I'm excited to be on your show to share with more people that anything is possible. You can achieve it even if you don't believe it. And the power that we all have is to transform and heal ourselves in ways we can't even imagine to be possible. And that's meaningful to me. That's why I'm here, because it makes a difference in my life when you heal, transform, and change, because it makes me happy to know that I've touched your heart in some way. And, the truth of the matter is it keeps me going. It keeps me having the energy to work almost 24 hours a day. That's what I do to help everybody transform and heal as much as possible. I literally work so much every day, and I do it because it's meaningful to me, and I really do care. And that's why I'm here, and that's important.
It is very important. I just want you to know, Joshua, that, there were so many comments that I wasn't able to read, but people are sending in their comments, which is so unusual, because by this time people are busy trying to figure out if they're moving on or what they're going to be doing after this call, and they're letting us know that they are still feeling really great after the exercise they did with you. I want to read this comment. There's several comments where people are saying, "I'm feeling lighter. I'm still feeling the grounding energy. It feels wonderful." And this comment from Kathleen especially, she said, "Hi, Iram and Joshua. Thank you both for being here. Just listening, I feel naturally lighter and happier. This way of living is naturally possible. Big thanks for weights lifted to both of you." I love that. That is so true. This is naturally possible. This is so organic. It's so cool to have access to this kind of energy all the time. And I know it. It's been now almost 3 years that I've been practicing with this. It's really, really awesome. So, Joshua, it was just a great experience. Thank you so much. And I do want to report that the lake is absolutely calm. So guys, keep those energies coming. The water is absolutely calm right now. It looks serene and beautiful. There's no rain, although we do still have clouds. So keep those energies coming, and we will shift this too. That will be just so possible. If we can actually shift this for the whole state of Texas, wouldn't that be just great? That would be awesome. So
why not?
Thank you.
Anything is possible,
why not?
Right?
Absolutely, yeah. Step into that possibility. I love that. So we are out of time now, Joshua. It was just so fabulous as always. It's great to share this space with you. Thank you for doing all the work you're doing to help change this planet. I really appreciate you, Joshua. And I want to thank our wonderful listeners as well for everything that you guys are doing, because like what Joshua said, when you shift even a tiny molecule in your body, you are really assisting in helping this planet shift. So thank you for all that you guys do. Love you lots. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll be talking to you soon. Take care for now. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye, Joshua.
Bye. Thank you so much.